Hey, thanks for dropping in. So I wasn't able to upload a video last week because the fam and I were on an unplanned and I guess unconventional would be the best word, camping trip. I won't go into the details here, but if you're interested, there's a couple of pictures on Instagram you can check out. Anyway, now that we're back, I thought I'd ease back into the routine by making my family's favorite salmon dish. It's pan-seared salmon, which I pair with a caper butter sauce. And it's super simple. As you can see, it starts with a little bit of finely chopped shallot and finely chopped garlic. I'll also need half of this lemon. And in this bowl, I've got a couple tablespoons of capers, draining on a piece of paper towel. As well, I've got a little bundle of Italian parsley. This will be used as garnish. Next, there's the salmon. I picked up these fillets at my local supermarket. They're skin on, but have already been cleaned, and just to be sure, I double checked them earlier by running my finger along where the backbone would have been. Normally, I'd advocate for sustainable wild fish, especially considering where we live, but confession, these happen to be farmed. The reason I chose farmed is because they've got more fat on them than wild salmon, so they'll be more forgiving in a pan, which means they'll also come out juicier and more delicious. The last thing I need is butter. This will obviously make up the sauce. There's about a third a cup of unsalted butter in this bowl, which I just cubed up to make it quicker to melt them. Alright, that should be everything. So let's get cooking. The first thing I'll do is heat up some oil in a pan. That's just regular old olive oil, but you can switch it out with veg oil or canola or whatever oil you want. Once it's shimmery and smoking slightly, and I don't know if you can actually see that, I'll lay in salmon fillets. I lay it away from me so that they don't get splashed, and I put it in skin side down because that's my presentation side. You can make this dish with skinless salmon, that's fine, or you could just peel the skin off once it's cooked and present it flesh side up. I season the skin side with salt and pepper before I put it in, and I'll do the same now to this side. This salmon will take about 8 minutes to cook, or about 4 minutes per side. There is a neat way to tell how cooked salmon is, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes, so I'm going to flip the fish. I'm going to let it sit on this side for a second, just to give it a bit of a sear. And as I do, you can see on the other side just how far the heat's penetrated and how cooked it's gotten. Once I flip the other fillet, I'll give another 4 minutes, and it should be pretty much done. Alright, the fish are done. And I know this because I can see that the heat has traveled all the way through the fillet. Also, you can see what look like little white drops coming out of the fish. That's called albumin, which is a liquid protein that gets squeezed out of the muscle fibers as the fish cooks. Once you see that, that's a signal that your salmon is ready to come out, which I'll do as soon as I give the last side a quick sear as well. The salmon's been moved to a plate, and I've wiped down a pan. I've also turned the heat down to medium. I'll add the butter and let it do its thing and melt. It's about a minute in, and the butter's foaming pretty vigorously. Once it settles down, that'll be the sign that the butter's started to brown, and we can finish the sauce. Okay, it's been another couple of minutes, and the foaming's pretty much stopped. I can also smell how nutty the liquid butter's gotten. I don't want to take it much further than this, or I'll risk burning the sauce. So at this point, I can turn the heat off and add the shallots. I'll let the residual heat toast them for a minute, because crispy fried shallots are delicious. Once the shallots are nice and brown, I'll add the garlic. Then the capers. I'll also squeeze in the juice from that half lemon. Sorry that that's just a shadow. I didn't notice that the lemon wasn't actually in the shot. One of the dangers of being a one-man film crew. Anyway, once that's done, I take the pan off the heat to prevent any further cooking. And we're done. And here it is, my family's favorite pan-seared salmon drizzled with caper butter sauce. The remaining butter sauce I'll serve on the side so people can help themselves to more as they want. It's resting on a little bed of Israeli couscous that I cooked while waiting for the fish to fry. This plate of food hits on a lot of points for me. First of all, of course, there's a salmon. It's delicate, it's moist, and just really, really delicious. And the crispy skin is a bonus. Then there's a sauce. It's salty and briny from the capers. It's got brightness and zing from the lemon. It's got earthiness from the shallot and garlic. And the brown butter rounds it all out and mellows it and makes it all harmonious. It's an incredibly delicious plate of food that came together in, what, 10 minutes? 12 minutes? It's a very small investment of time to make my family happy. And you know what? I think it could make your family happy too, so you should give it a try. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And if you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please drop them in the comments. I'll see you next week.